Hi everyone. Oh yes, look at this day to me. It's me. Welcome back to my channel. I have my nightie on. I'm going to do a little get ready with me. Cause I'm actually going out. Since the ghost hunt, I've not left the house. I'll tell you a bit about that. But I'm going to a music quiz night tonight, so I want to see who comes second. I'm going to come first. You watch. I'll get over there and I'll get all the bloody answers wrong. So I'm just putting on this gold and marine collagen on my face to start with. I'm not going to do like, oh dear, it's all dripping. Oh. I'm not going to do like a proper load of makeup today because it is just a little, you know, pub across the way there where I live. But when I see they had like, oh, what's it called? Music quiz. I think I did tell you about it, and I was going to go with Callie, but I didn't feel good. Actually, I've got, lucky enough, it's healing up a little bit now, but I've had a bleeding cough. My mum's friend come over, spreading all her germs, and has given me a cough. Hey ho. Anyway, so I'm not going to tell you what I'm putting. Well, I can tell you a little bit of what I'm putting on, but the good old kabuki brush, whatever it's called. I'm going to put on a bit of the old foundation. You've seen this one before. £5 from good old Primani. If you can hear a really loud noise, it's probably because I've got a tumble dryer going and I've got the fan on over there because I'm sweating my ever small boobs off. Anyway, so I thought I'd tell you a little bit. I mean, I am going to do a story time. I know I told you all about I want to tell you some stories that have happened to me. Come out. It knows to, innit? Knows to do as it's told. So yeah, so we went to this obviously this haunted school the other night. Remember, this is going to be really quick application because it is just a pub, so I'm not really too bothered how good it goes on, to be honest. Yeah, so we went to the school, which was where it was at, but you know what? They said in there, it was with the most haunted team. They said in all the time they've been doing it, I mean, Yvette Fielding and her husband Carl go to some of them, but if they're there because it's celebrities, then you have to pay about £40 more than what we paid because obviously they're celebrities. But obviously, so it was just their team, the most haunted team. And so obviously we've gone into the school. God, I'm saying a lot of obviously, isn't I? We've gone into the school, and where did we start off? Obviously you start off in the hall, and they had like refreshments in there, so you could get like teas, coffees, minestrone soups, or no, like just the old good old cup of soups. And so I had a cup of tea. I think my sister, I might keep coughing a little bit because I've got a cough. I think my sister and my mum and my friend Christine, yeah, I think they had minestrone soup, but I wanted a cup of tea, and I thought I'd have a cup of tea and some crisps because I had some crisps laid out. And a club biscuit. Oh, I do like, if you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club. Clubs there, right? Anyway, and then they put you in teams. Now, they did think I was crazy. Well, not think I'm crazy, I am crazy, because what happened after we'd been in like in the hall, they got us all together in there. Then they started taking us like to different parts of the school. Well, the first bit we got in, they they straight away say to you, if you've got any questions to ask, if you want to ask anyone, you know, can ask a question. My mate Chris, she don't care. She steps forward and she says, "Oh, I've got a question." And she said, "Are you a man or a woman?" Well, it's going to be one of the two, isn't it, love? Anyway, then she did proceed to say, "Or are you children?" Because obviously it was an old school. And apparently the hallway where we were sat, the hall, she said, one of the girls, that it's apparently the oldest building or part of the building in the world. So it goes back to the, did she say 1700s or early 1800s? I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention. I'm naughty. I was too busy scoffing me crisps and dipping me club in me tea, you know. But anyway, so yeah, we've gone into this next bit. Oh, don't know if you like me ring. This is a sterling silver rose. Again, little vintage purchase there. Yeah, and I've got this evil eye bracelet to ward off any demons that may be lurking in the school. I've had it on ever since. Anyway, so I'm going to cut me crap, and I'm going to tell you when we got in the room. So we get into this room, and she's saying, does anyone want to speak? Does anyone want to say anything? Like I said, Christine was the first one up there going, oh, yeah, you know, is anyone there? Is it a man? Is it a woman? And they had these little balls, and they're like little cat balls, and if they light up, it means that there's a spirit or an energy near it. And they had the K2 meters, which are like, I think they're red and go to green. So if it goes right up to green, or you're getting some energies from the spirit. Anyhow, so we went into this first room, and we didn't see too much going on. Then they was like, oh, can you hear tapping on the... I couldn't hear a thing. I didn't hear no tapping. I'm sure they just pretend. Anyway, I was like, couldn't hear no tapping. But anyway, then they went, right, we can do the Ouija board. So I went, I'm out of here. I said, can you open the door? They're like, are you serious? I went, do I look like I'm not serious? I said, open the door. I'm gone. They said, no, Ouija boards are safe. We've been doing this for a very long time. Blah, de, blah, de, blah. I said, listen. I said, you can all do what you want to do. I said, but I myself, I'm not comfortable with doing Ouija board. I said, so I'm scarpering out of here. And they was all laughing at me, all the other people that were there. So my mum said, I'm coming with you. My mum was the lady with the blonde hair. That's my mum. And then obviously my sister you see, and then the other lady was Chris, if you've seen the video. Our friend Chris. She's the one who does these ghost hunts all the time. Anyway, so obviously we've left for the Ouija board, but we got talking to a girl called Kelly, and she was one of the ladies like walking us all around. So she said, do you want to go into the old schoolroom? And she took us into this little room, and it like, if you see the video, you might see it's like all the school tables going up like that on levels. And she said, and the room was pretty small. She said, would you believe that they used to cram 300 children into this room? I said, 300? I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. It just was so tiny. Anyway, and then she was showing us the dunce caps, which obviously, I mean, back then they didn't really understand, but it's not a nice thing, because you were given the dunce caps, I believe, if you were thick. Now, you know, people do have learning disabilities, so back then there might have been people who had learning disabilities, and that's why they didn't understand things. It weren't that they were dunce, it was that they had learning disabilities, and it's really horrible to think that they were labelled as a dunce and had this dunce cap on or whatever. And, you know, it was just that they had learning disabilities. But anyway, I've gone in there. I was in there for a while because we had to wait for the rest of the team to do their Ouija board. Eventually, they've all come in from doing the Ouija board, and we was all in there, like in this other room. And then they put a few of the cat balls down. Well, actually, one was in front of me, and it was there for quite some time. It didn't go off. And then I'm just going to put on some eyeshadow, some purple, I think. And then I said to my sister, you take it and put it next to you. So she put it next to her, and literally within about, I don't know, 5 minutes of it being on Tammy's table, started going off, didn't it? So I was like, oh, obviously whatever child is in here, spirit, or even the headmaster, whoever it was, obviously likes Tam. Anyway, it went off, you know, quite a few times. Anyway, then we go down into the basement, which was quite, you know, eerie down there. And one of the girls had the K2 meter, so there was some girl sitting there, just one of us. She wasn't a most haunted person, staff, whatever you want to call it. She was just a normal girl holding one of the K2 meters. And she was sitting pretty much near where me and Tammy were stood. And every time one of the most haunted people started asking questions, the K2 meter would go off, specifically when she said my sister's name, Tammy. So every time, and anyway, she said whoever this is down here appears to really like Tammy. And I thought, no change there, everyone usually does. So even the ghosts. So obviously it kept going off for Tam, and every time she said, do you like Tammy? And it would go off. But the funny thing was, the lady told us, she said, in all the time I've been doing this, she said the K2 meter has never gone off, like it really went like to the end, as much as it did as when we was down in the basement and we kept mentioning Tammy. She said it's never gone off that much. So I did ask her if spirits can sort of maybe follow you to places, because my name wasn't said, or neither was my mum's, but I thought if Lisa was said or if Wendy was said, maybe something might happen on the K2 meter, because I started thinking, was it my dad there and I had followed us? So that's why I asked the lady, I said, can spirits follow you? And she said, well, they can. Anyhow, we carried on with the hunt. And this is where things really got spooky. So we've gone into his house. Apparently the headmaster's house, he didn't ever want to leave his house. He loved the house so much, and everything apparently that was in the house was how he left it. So anyway, we go upstairs to the bedrooms, and there was quite a few of us, so there was 3 rooms, so you could sort of there was 2 most haunted women, and they was going in and out. But anyway, we went into this back room and couldn't believe it. So we're standing there. Sorry, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. I've lost me. Oh, there we are. So anyway, yeah, we were standing there, and all of a sudden, like, she's talking about this guy, this headmaster. I'm around this side of the bed. So say the bed's like that. So Tammy was here, Christine was here, my mum was here right round where the bed knobs were, and I was this side. Anyway, the most haunted lady was over there. She started asking questions. Next thing, a book flew off of a stand, hit a candle, and fell right onto Tammy's foot. She screamed. I mean, screamed. Anyway, then my mum's getting me looking under the bed. She's thinking there's wires under there, but well, there wasn't. And the lady also said that's the most action that they'd ever seen. So it wasn't rigged up, otherwise they'd rig it up all the time. Do you get what I mean? And Christine, who goes to them all the time, she said, no, I've never seen action like what we had tonight, with the K2 meters and actual book flying off, hitting the candle that hit Tammy's leg. So they said they'd never seen so much action in any of the other ones that they'd done. So I thought that was brilliant. But yeah, as the book flew off, oh God, my sister screamed, Christine screamed, there was a woman next to her who screamed, all the old poo pants, you know, getting scared. Not me, I'm just there like, oh, you know. And they're like, well, you won't do the Ouija board. Do you know why I won't do the Ouija board? Because when you do Ouija board, this is what I believe, you know, everyone is allowed their own beliefs, but I believe that, you know, if you know you're just going to let in, like, spirits, like ghosts as such, but you don't know, you know, when you're opening that doorway or portal or, you know, whatever you want to call it, what you're letting in, because essentially you could be letting in demons. And I really don't want to be stalked by one of them, thank you very much. So that's why I wouldn't do a Ouija board. But yeah, anyway, so that happened in there. And then obviously you get like a break. There was a few more like little bits like tapping and that you could hear. Although at one of the places they were saying, oh, can you hear tapping? It could have been the pipes. There was old pipes there. It could have just been the pipes. You get what I mean? So, but obviously they want to make it all exciting. Oh, can you hear the tapping? But yeah, so that was what happened then. And then obviously afterwards you get like a break. And then we went in and had another cup of tea, went out for a cheeky ciggy. And then they give you like 45 minutes on your own. So then 45 minutes you can like go back to any of the places they've shown you and just go and do what you want, you know, do they was allowing to give you like the K2 meters. I didn't have a K2 meter, but you was allowed to take one, but they only had a couple, so obviously it was limited. So they had a couple of K2 meters and a couple of cat balls, but as I say, we never had one. But I did turn off me not turn off me, I put my flashlight on me, not flashlight, oh God Lisa, I put my flash on so that if there was any orbs, and I did pick up a couple of orbs, that you could have seen them better, which as I said, you know, I did see a couple of orbs. Whenever I try and talk and do makeup, it never, I mean, I'm not good at it anyway, I've already told you that, but it never seems to come out how I want it. They look alright to you? Bit thick, but look at the eyeshadow. Freaking hell. I'm worrying about me bloody eyebrows. I'm going to say, I told you, biggest blagger on the planet. I'm crap. Anyway, so yeah, we went and had a little look, and then obviously it finished at 1 o'clock in the morning. Hang on, sorry, I've got to blow my schnozzer. Colds, coughs. Apparently it's all going around at the moment. Yeah, so after that, we then decided to phone a cab. Now listen, the cab, we had to go to 4 stops, but they wasn't too far away from each other. And so we phoned the first cab. So when you're thinking maybe all in all about an hour's drive, not even that, 50 minutes say, phoned the first cab, and they were like, I'm just putting this on now, they were like, okay, so that's going to be £170. I was like, what? What? £170? I thought they were having an actual laugh here. £170. And they said it's because it's gone midnight, right? So I was like, okay, so that was 170. So my sister went, oh, you know, let's phone another one. Let's try another one. So we tried another one, and they said between 150 and 200. And I thought, oh, this is just absolutely ridiculous, you know. Anyway, so my sister then said to me, Lise, can you phone one? So I said, oh, yeah, all right then. So I phoned another cab station, and he said 130. So I said, oh God, I said, you know, I said, is that the best you can do? So he said, you know, hold the line, let me just speak to my manager. £1, told you I'm not going to tell you much of what I'm putting on, I'm too busy gassing. So he said, let me just put you on hold, I'll ask my manager. Anyway, when he come back, he said, right, the best we can do for this time of night is going to be 120. So luckily enough, because we was meant to have been on this before and it got cancelled, this one was £10 less than the one we were meant to go on. So, and Christina paid for it, and obviously we'd give her the money. So she'd had a tenner left each that she was meant to be giving us back. So luckily enough, that tenner went to it, and then I ended up giving 20. My mum gave 20. Obviously Chris paid hers, and Tammy gave the other 20. But I just thought, how the hell can you charge? I mean, they're asking £200 for a cab. Ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. I'm just putting this on now. This is my bronzer. But anyway, needless to say, did I like it? I didn't like it. I loved it. Do you know, my nose always looks really big in videos, but it's not. Oh no, now I've made it really dark. My nose actually isn't really big. But in videos and that, and sometimes in photos, doesn't it look big? But it's not. It's quite small. Look at me, makeup face. think I'm gone a bit overboard with the blush, with the old bronze. Do love a bit of bronzer. Right, anyway, so now I finished talking about me most daunted. Definitely going to go on another one. But some of them are so far away. They were saying there was this one in Shrewsbury, which is, I think, is in putting on a Milani blusher, which I think is in Wales. Shrewsbury Prison, that was what they was all talking about. People have been there before, and they said it is absolutely marvellous, and that I should try it. But getting to Shrewsbury, I mean, come on. I mean, getting to Wales, that's a bit of a mish. That's a bit of a mish, and I was like, no, a bit of a mish for me. I'm going to put on, do you know what? I'm going to put on this crappy old mascara here. I have to hold my eyelids because I really need an eyelid removal, I tell you. I've got bloody hooded eyes, I tell you. Being old ain't no fun. It ain't no fun, mate, I tell you. It ain't no fun. Hang on a minute. I can't even stretch my knees out, and I need to because they're hurting me. Now I think I'm sitting like I'm all sexy, you know. It's my elbows. So yeah, anyway, bottom line is I'm definitely going to have a look and go again at some point. And the other good thing about it was there was always like, which I was a bit worried about, and because I've got my bad knee and my mum's got like bad hips, and I thought, you know, my knee's going to play up and there's going to be nowhere to sit. But there was loads of places to sit, but I don't know if every venue would be the same, and that is the only thing. But where we went, oh, there was loads of places to sit, so we was happy about that, being able to sit down. I've been watching loads of films this week. Some are alright. Some, do you know what? Horrors, they're just not how they used to be, are they? They just are not. I mean, I sit there like that, look. I mean, there's no jump scares. Actually, I'm lying. I did watch one where I kept jumping. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember what it was called. And Callie said to me, oh mum, you're so pathetic. Because I kept jumping. I was like, what is scary, that bit? It wasn't scary, it was just a jump scare. What was it called? There's someone in, no, I don't know. I watched one last night called I don't remember. It's about a girl going on vacation because she's just split up with her husband, and obviously there's more to the story, but I can't tell you in case you watch it and you're like, now I know what happens because she told me. But I've been watching horrors all week, but ask me to remember the names of them, I just don't. I'm putting on my lip liner now. This is a Morph one. I've had it about 500 years. I'm sorry I have to be quiet for this. It's about the only time I shut up when I'm doing my lip liner when I'm asleep. What I'll do actually, I'll write down the list of all the ones that I've watched, and next time when I come on to do my, I'm going to do, actually after this, I am going to do a charity shop haul. It's a very tiny one, and at some point I'll do the chat about my brother's story and about some ghostly bits, and I will do a list of the horror films that I have watched over the past couple of weeks, and give you my honest views and opinions as to how good they were. Right, so that's my liner, and I think I might go for, I've had this for ages, this is the Yves Saint Laurent lipstick, but it's quite a nice colour. I do love pink. Right, I'm gonna just try and blend it a little bit into my liner. Bit more. I was going to put a eyeliner on, but I just make my eyes look even smaller. So let's just go a bit more mascara. And oh, I'll tell you what I did forget. And that will never do. That will never do. And that will never do. Where are you, naughty brush? The brushes are hiding from me, you know. Where are you? Oh, I'll just use this one. Right, I want to put a little bit of the old highlighter on. We've put on the one that I made up myself, because I do like this one. It's ever so glittery. See that? Oh. And that, boys and girls, where am I putting it? Where am I putting it? I can't remember where it comes from. I'm going to go in there now. And that is me finished. So, like I was saying, not the best, not the worst, but it'll do. Anyway, if you like this kind of thing, or if you don't, then you don't. But if you do, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, press the notification bell. It will tell you every time the little army uploads. Just want to say again, thanks for all my new subs, all the lovely comments that I get. I read each and every one of them. I appreciate each and every one of them. I love you all very much. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.